Hi friends, hope you're doing well. So nowadays I'm getting a lot of questions about test and discussion, that what is it and how can we get benefited from it and should we do it? I always tell students, don't follow the herd. You should think, you should, whenever you are, whenever you hear about something, or whenever you feel like, you want to join some course, join some classes, or you want to buy some book, you should know about it. So we will talk about few aspects of test and discussion today. So first, what is test and discussion? So it is not something new that something has started in few years. It has been there for a very long time. So earlier it used to be only offline, but now we have online options as well. So test and discussion is basically you are given a test. So it is to know, how can you solve the questions and to know the knowledge around that question. So you are given some questions, maybe 20, 50 or 100 depending upon the time that you have, and then you have to solve that paper, and then after that there will be a discussion by a faculty who is dedicated faculty for that subject about that those questions, their answers, the topics related to that answers, and the high yield topics that are recently asked in the exam. So everything that will be discussed. So what is the benefit of test and discussion? A lot of students say that who should join it, what is the ideal candidate that should join. So I'll tell you what used to happen, that in earlier times, that student who, suppose I have done offline coaching, like, or online coaching, like complete coaching of some class, and now I don't have a subscription, or I have already done it, so I don't want to watch it again. But my rank in the previous exam was not very good, so I want to write exam one more time. So now, if I am someone that who cannot stay motivated, I cannot stay disciplined. That I need that human touch. I need that somebody makes plan for me, so I can study in that order. So if you have let's say you have a testing discussion this weekend about surgery, so I read about surgery this week. So I have a plan. I have this schedule. So if you are someone who cannot stay motivated, cannot stay, I mean, having difficulty staying motivated, having difficulty staying disciplined, so test and discussion is a good option for you, because it gives you that plan, it gives you that schedule that you can follow. Second group of students who have done any offline coaching, like in the like internship year or even before that, and now they don't want to join another full coaching, but they have written the exam and they found there were a lot of new questions and a lot of new updates, and they are feeling that I from where I can get these updates, because it will take a lot of time for manually searching for everything. So in test and discussion, usually they discuss a lot of these updates and recently asked questions, so that is a good source of recent updates. So students, that is also one of the reason that they join test and discussion, to get new updates. So I think these are two things. Also, third thing is to improve your critical thinking. Some students, they have a very good theory knowledge, that when they read notes, if you ask them one liners, they can tell you the answer. Okay, this is the most common of this. These are the like common causes of this particular disease. But if you frame a clinical question, if you ask them in a twisted manner, they're not able to answer it, because that critical thinking is not yet developed. So when you attend the test and discussion, that critical thinking is also developed, and the teacher helps you in solving the question, that what should be your approach to the question, and how should you think and attack the question, like how can you reach to the answer. So that thinking also develops during test and discussion. So these are the students who require any of these aspects can join test and discussion, and these are the students who actually can be benefited from it. Now the very important point is, what should be approach to the test and discussion. See, I'll give you a very frank opinion. I always tell students that if you pay for something, like particularly in a PG entrance exam, we get a package. We always, there are different type of packages from a lot of classes. But what I feel, that if you pay for something, it does not mean that you have to take full benefit of it. I mean, you don't have to do everything that has been there in the package. So if you have joined test and discussion, so you have to first divide your subject, like which are your strong subject, which are your weak subject, and for which this test and discussion is really necessary. Because what I used to think during my time, like if I have to attend like 3 days of test and discussion or 2 days of test and discussion for dermatology, but I can finish reading dermatology notes in these 2 days. If I am attending test and discussion for dermatology, there will be few questions which are recently asked, some areas about it. Teacher will take its time. The exam itself, the test itself will take its time. So, and I'm not going to retain a lot of information during my class. Like it's only going to be a 20 or 30% of information that is going to I'm going to retain. I'm going to take down the notes, and then I have to go home and read that again. So that much time I have to invest. So I feel for the subject, like especially short subjects and subject like anatomy, biochemistry, I don't feel that you should join test and discussion. Yes, if even if you have taken a full package, I will say like anatomy, the nerve which was passing from a certain canal like 100 years back, it's still passing from there. You're not going to get any benefit from test and discussion. You have to just read your anatomy notes and enter that class. Similarly for biochemistry, the enzymes still there and the things are still there. If you want that, there are some clinical based scenarios that you need to understand, definitely you can attend. So you use your grand test to understand that what are your weaknesses, what are your weak subjects, and wherever you are faltering, wherever you are getting less result, attend those tests and discussion. So be selective with your test and discussion because time is very limited. If you're targeting INICT November, you have limited time. We don't know when the next exam will happen, but still the time is limited. So you have to use your time wisely. Test and discussion or any sitting in a class is not going to give you a rank. How many times you are going to read your notes, how many times you are going to revise them, how well you are going to retain them is something that is going to give you a rank. So don't waste your time in attending all the test and discussion classes. Be very, very selective and know your strengths. See, if I told you a few subjects, but you have to write down on your own that what are your weaknesses, what are your strengths. I cannot be in your shoes, so you have to decide it for yourself. Second thing, don't make another notebooks for test and discussion. So suppose if you have done some classes earlier, you have those notes. So carry those notes to your test and discussion. See whatever teacher is telling, if it's already in your notes, just underline it or highlight it. Whatever new updates you are getting, just add them in short. You don't have to add like, if there are like 100 new drugs, you don't have to add everything. Whatever you feel that, okay, this is relevant and this can be asked and this question, this should be in my notes, then you should add it to your notes. Because what happens, visual memory is very important. If you make another notebook for your test and discussion, when you read that again, you will be again confused because your visual memory will be confused because you are reading the same material from two different sources, which is a very bad idea. So add it to your existing notes and then revise the same thing again and again. So these are the two things that, and solve your test with honesty. Like, whenever you solve your test in discussion, whenever you solve your test, either offline you will go to the class and will solve it, or in online you have to attempt the test and you have to submit it. So basically in any scenario, you have to solve it with the same intensity as of exam. So this is when you'll get actually benefited from test and discussion. Last point, is it must? See, this fear of missing out, FOMO is currently it's totally taking over all the PG aspirants. There are a lot of people, we talk about do this, do that. See, I always emphasize on the point, every topper has their unique story. You don't have to follow everyone. You don't have to follow anyone or everyone. You have to see what are your strengths and weaknesses on your own. See, when you'll succeed, you'll realize, okay, this is what I needed to do. So assess your weaknesses and see if you really need it. If you have all 19 notes, if your concepts are well, if you have some video package or some classes already with you, that you can, if you have some, and even if you don't have, there are a lot of free videos available on YouTube. That if you don't understand something about physiology or pharma, some concepts or problems there, medicine surgery, you can go to YouTube and watch it. See, as I always say, that time spent on clearing your concept is never a waste of time. It will always save your time in long run. So know that your weaknesses and then only join it. Even if you will, as I said, if you feel that you cannot be motivated, you cannot stay disciplined, then you can definitely join. If you feel like you cannot go and search an updates, but you need some touch, so be selective with your classes. Don't waste a lot of time on D&D. So that's all I wanted to tell about test and discussion. In summary, don't do everything. Don't attend all classes. Be selective. Just the classes that you feel that you are weak in, attend them only. Second, very important time that whenever you are doing test and discussion, don't make a separate notebook. Add it to the whatever previous notes you have. So I hope as I always say, it's not the lack of time, but the lack of direction that affects the students and the result of lot of students. So I hope this video helps you, and I wish you all the best and take care.